Hi, welcome to Tech with Tim. This is episode 1. I am super jacked about this because you know what? Before we get into the technical stuff that I'm going to share with you with my machining background and education, I wanted to share with you the very important skill of how to make home brew. People are kind of intimidated by making beer because they think it's really convoluted. Here's what you need. You need a pot. You need a big spoon. And you need a big pail. Food grade is what I recommend. And what I do is I boil water with a little vinegar, or you can get Sandy rinse from the brew store. And you clean the pot, or the pail and the pot and the spoon, and you make sure it's really nice, okay? That's kind of probably the most important thing, right? And what you need is a beer kit. Basically, this is a malt. And what comes on the top is really cool. There's, what you get is a malt and a yeast, and it's about 18 bucks, and this will make 60 beers. So you gotta use your brewing yeast, and we're gonna open this up and we're gonna go through all this, and I'm gonna show you just how fun and simple this is. We're gonna use plain white sugar. You can use honey, you can use molasses. My recommendation is keep it simple, make a brew that works and wins. So one of the most important things that I like to do, I try to remember every time, is to weight the yeast up, so to speak, right? So you wanna take a little pair of scissors or something, because this thing will not open. And the brewer's yeast it's dried out. And what I do is I take it, I take a little warm water, a pinch of this sugar, and give it a little, how do you do? So let's talk about bottling for just a quick sec. Bottling options you have lots, okay? You can keep your empties, and what I recommend is you are enjoying them, give them a rinse right away. And then come brew day, everything gets a bath, but they're already rinsed out. If they've got stuff in the bottom of it, that's a problem. You don't want that. Or you can keep 2 liters as well. My grandfather turned me onto that years ago. They work great, like just old 2-liter pop bottles, okay? You'll need about 12 of them. And so what happens, here's it in a nutshell. You make the brew. It's gonna, when we're done here today, that'll go 7 to 10 days in the pail, okay? Then you're gonna rack it to a carboy. You're gonna get yourself a glass carboy, one of those big boys, right? And you're gonna put the beer in there. And then you're gonna put the bung in, and you're gonna observe it for about 14 days. You're gonna let it do its thing, right? Then when bottling day comes, after about 21 to 24 days, you're going to have to rack back to the pail, because the simplest way to make sure that you have your carbonation, not carburation, we'll talk about carburation on another tech series, your carbonation, the simplest way to ensure that your bottles are equal is take a cup of sugar into the pail, rack from the carboy, stir, mix, then bottle. And you have enough sugar for all of them. You won't have explosions, you won't have any episodes, okay? You're gonna have a success story. And it's usually about 7 to 10 days after that the beer's good to go. So keep that in mind. If you build a kegerator system, we're talking 7 days in the pail, right to the keg, CO2, talk to you in 4 days. You're gonna have a nice frosty adult beverage, perfect, okay? So let's keep going. This part is real easy. I put a little bit of water in the pot. I know I said 3 off the top. It's more like 3.5 to 4. I recommend not having beers while you do this. 3, and then we'll do just about 4, okay? Get that going. I got it on high. The idea here isn't to boil anything. It's not to cook the hell out of it. The idea is to warm it and get it all just blended nice. So what you want to do now is we want to take I've opened the can already. It kind of just looks like coffee or like molasses, if you will. I don't know if you can see that there. I don't want to spill it on myself. And you just get it in the can, or from the can, you get it in the pot, and we're just mixing. That's all we're doing. We're gonna get that beautiful stuff in there, and life is, you know, it kind of gets back to like, maybe that's why Pinterest is such a big deal now, right? Like people are sick and tired of maybe not knowing how to do stuff. They can get it in the pot, and we're just mixing. That's all we're doing. We're gonna get that beautiful stuff in there. So simple as that. We get it in there, and the idea is I just stir. I get the sugars all happy, and what's gonna happen next, essentially, once I'm happy with what I see here, again, I'm not boiling this, I'm not cooking it, is it's gonna go to the pail. As you can see, the yeast is come around, it's really popped up. It's foaming up a bit. It's waking up. So you know what? The next step is going to be getting this to the pail, adding the yeast, adding the water, and we're done. Oh yeah. You get that in there, and it's time for water. I like to put a lukewarm mix. We don't have to go bonkers. And I take the yeast now. Bang. It's showtime. Just like that. And that's it. We are gonna get this bad boy stirred up, and it's gonna be beautiful. And it smells good already. You're gonna know. And here we go. And what I like to do, because I'm in a keg system, I like to bring the beer up to this line of the pail. And I'm satisfied. That's enough. You guys that are gonna be racking, you might want more liquid, and you'll come up to the third line. That's my rule. Doesn't have to be yours. At the end of the day, once you get it up to that, we're gonna put the lid on, and we snap it down, half circle. Handle to handle. The beer, my friends, and I leave it up. At the end of the day, I thought this was a really cool way to start off this this series of tech videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Big time appreciated. If you like what's happening here, share the hell out of it, okay? And come back and see what other cool stuff we got going on, all right? Cheers. See you later.